I come from a grandmother who didn't let us leave her house without a speech and a song. She was so good at it. So I'm just going to do this and try to follow in her footsteps right now. It happened for the first time when I was 9 in Zimbabwe, where I was raised. And I'd been asked to participate in a fashion show for some Americans who had come into town. We were to wear African print and exhibit our attire at an event. My mother used some fabric that had been sitting in our house for as long as I could remember and had it made into a dress that fit my sinewy 9-year-old frame. After a few rehearsal days amidst women and girls of many ages, the day arrived. The Americans had landed. We did our show and walked about on a stage in the middle of the botanical gardens in Harare. And afterwards, we lingered about, none of us sure how to interact with the Americans for whom we had just displayed our African wares. When it happened, I remember being surprised by it. I'd never thought about it. But when I did receive that compliment, a stunning brown-skinned woman took my face in her hands, her long flowing braids cascading down her back. I realized it was something I would always cherish. She looked at me, observing me with deep appreciation. I stood still, trying to behave and not embarrass my mother or my nation. She held my face, looked me deep in the eye, and she told me that I was beautiful. She said it with such feeling it filtered straight into my soul and left an indelible imprint. This majestic woman with long flowing braids had told me that I was beautiful. So now I had to consider the idea that it might just be true. The majestic woman was Susan L. Taylor. The longtime editor-in-chief of Essence magazine, this here glorious publication. This is where I learned it, that Black girls are beautiful. Sisters are beautiful. And the most edifying source to hear that from is another sister. This publication does so much for the soul of a sister. Every month I'm guaranteed, be it in the airport or walking down 14th Street in Manhattan or in a Barnes & Noble in Atlanta, I am guaranteed that one of the publications on the stand will not fail me. It will have a sister on the cover celebrating her beauty, her Black girl magic, and by so doing, it will remind me that I am beautiful and designed to be loved and appreciated, because Essence celebrates us. Sisters. And I've been unpacking that lately. I've been unpacking it. Just how powerful being a sister is. See, what it means is we've figured out the okey doke. We've called their bluff. We found the source of our power. The world and its various oppressions against those like us wanted to tell us that we as women, we don't do well together. That we are competitive or we have catfights and petty disagreements and can't get things done when we try. It tells us to compete, that there's never enough, that we are easily replaceable, that we must consider each other's presence a threat, but we know that not to be true. A sister, a real sister, well, we know better. She knows that her most profound strength, her power, her magic is often actualized, nourished, and recognized by none other than another sister. She knows she can share her darkest fears and express her deepest problems and be supported, renewed, revived by none other than a sister. She knows she can move mountains, change tides, break through ceilings when she is shoulder to shoulder with another sister. She also knows that no one, not one other human being, can check her and set her straight. Be the iron that sharpens her iron. No one does that better than another sister. Sisters sisters are the vibranium to the other's Wakanda, okay? Sisters get each other through to their greatness, carry each of them on their backs, and bring each other to a place anew. I wouldn't be standing here if it weren't for my sisters. And in my culture, the deeply traditional Shona people, there's a saying that to not thank is witchcraft. So I have got to thank those sisters who keep me whole. And I have to thank those sisters who are in the room right now. Saniqua Martin Green, Lord, I'm gonna cry. Edwina Finley, Susan Kelechi Watson, Catherine Kimmel, this luminous light right here shining brighter than that one, Lupita Nyong'o. Thank you. You are the women that I have been able to be vulnerable with, to seek counsel from, to break all the way down with, to pray with, to be prayed for, to share frustrations, pains, fears, joys, and praise reports. You have spoken words into my life that have transformed me, cleansed me, guided me, anointed me, reminded me of who I am, helped me edge towards my destiny. Thank you for your sister girl magic. Thank you. How would I have ever known that day 31 years ago that one day I'd be honored by the very same magazine the stunning woman with long braids was in charge of? How would she? But the time she took to look a little African girl in the eye and dispel the lie and implant the truth, that time resulted in something that grew inside of me that kept me aware that no matter what the world threw at me, I was beautiful. Take that little girl's face in your hands. Look her deep in the eye with appreciation and tell her that she's beautiful. Tell her of her greatness. She needs you too. Her 40-year-old self will thank you for it, as I do Essence today. Now, we've heard the lies, but here's the truth. The harvest is upon us. The time is now. We lack nothing. Our success is greater than our failures. We are here and we are ready to determine our own destinies. We must reap the seeds that were planted by our foremothers. From Johannesburg to London to Oakland to Los Angeles, workers are needed to till the soil of our greatness that rests in the bosom of our youth. Gather and distribute the fruit of our legacy. The youth need to see their greatness reflected in our eyes. Go forth. Let them know we're real. Invest in them with time, with resources. And as Okoye would command her army of women as they stepped into battle to preserve the sovereignty of their people to do, so I mandate all of us to do today. Forward.